So I know the YouTube video that went up this morning was the one from the anniversary party.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that.
Cool, it's online now.
Yeah, nice.
But of course, everyone in the room was talking. And so the first, and it took people like 20, 25 minutes before they kind of like gathered around my area and quieted down. So everyone on the internet is like complaining about the video, like, oh, it's too noisy. We're not gonna have that problem tonight.
No, we really won't.
No. Be silent.
Yeah. So tonight we have, or I should say this past few weeks, I've had this unofficial theme. Often this is how my themes erupt. They're just complete accidents because I keep doing the same thing and I want to do a thing next week of Moyos. And so I wanted to show you guys a game of like the master Moyo builder. So, yay, thumbs up. Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, what is a Moyo?
It's like a bunch of stones that could turn something into territory.
It's, I'm going to say a large framework. It's not territory, right? It's usually considered too open to be direct territory. But also if our opponent's going to want it to not turn into territory, they have to work really hard for a while, either with a lot of reductions or a pretty severe invasion. And so this large framework. And the Moyo strategy goes back hundreds, if not thousands of years, right? This is like a thing that we've understood about Go, right? If you take the inside position, someone's going to get the outside. And if you take the inside here, the inside here, and the inside here, well, your opponent's going to have all outside positions and start threatening to build something really large, right? This is just like part of Go. Throughout the 20th century, certain Go players, right, have valued the outside differently than the inside. I should say conversely, certain players have valued the inside much more than the outside. And probably the two most famous players to really value the outside, at least historically speaking, are Go Seigen and Takemiya Masaki. And I want to talk about Go Seigen a whole lot because I want to show you one of Takemiya's games. Takemiya was a Japanese player who became very famous in his youth for we'll credit him inventing, quote unquote, the cosmic style of Go, right? So he's the cosmic Go guy. And he's still playing Go. He actually doesn't really play the cosmic style anymore, right? His style over the years has progressed more and more to a territorial style. Like he still will take the outside if you give it to him, but he's not going to work nearly as hard at it. But there was a period for him, like in the 70s and early 1980s, where he was taking the outside, right? And basically he was looking at the board and saying, this is bigger, right? Like that was his feeling about the Go board, is that this is the biggest part of the Go board. Not the corners, not the sides, it's this part. And so in the 70s and early 80s, he played these games, and especially when he was black, but he even did it when he was white, which is, just to show you how sort of pig-headed his style is, or how well you can actually force the game in a certain direction if you have a certain value system, was this geared to playing this outside. And I have a game here against another pro player, Kobayashi Koichi, who, another 9-dan, very famous Japanese Go professional. Kobayashi style, first of all, he's famous for quote-unquote inventing the Kobayashi Fuseki, but more importantly, his style is more Hante style. It's more like proper, like trying to find, what's the correct move. He would occasionally run into trick moves or get sucked into territorial kind of styles, but for the most part, he was pretty flexible. He just wanted to play the correct thing. What's the correct response to what my opponent is doing? So I thought for this reason, I think this game is from 1984. This game between the two of them, I thought, I picked it just because it's, Takemiya, this, I want the outside player, and Takemiya is black, versus, Kobayashi, who's this, like, I'm just going to take what you give me, this more, I'm just going to do what's proper kind of style. And so the game goes like this. And Takemiya is black. Oh man, the first 4 moves are always the hardest. Make sure this is the 4-4. Hold on. Yes. Okay, good. First 4 moves of any game are the hardest to remember. And what do we call this?
Sanrensei?
Sanrensei. 3 star points. Again, if Takemiya is just interested in building the middle, this is not a bad way to start, right? If we were playing something like this. This would be more like threaten to build territory in attack style. This is more, hey, you can just come in and take all the corners you want. I'm just going to build something here. Kobayashi plays an interesting move. If Kobayashi was going to play the Kobayashi opening, right, the next move would be here, and we'd expect something like this. This is not the game. Right, this is an opening though. Again, made famous around the same time period. But instead, Kobayashi plays here. And I find this move a little bit strange, like it's totally a possible move. But it definitely weighs the board in one direction. And what direction does it push the board?
White's saying the left-hand side of the board is the most important side.
Very good. White's saying the left-hand side is the most important side. White's taking territory in the corner, and fourth line territory right now. That's big. Playing this instead of this is also saying, hey, I'm interested in the center too. I'm not completely invested in territory. I want to build something influence. And especially when you play this move over this one, with this move you're really saying, I want to emphasize this. And so what does Takemiya do?
Maybe the star point on
Yes,
the left side?
absolutely. He plays this. Again, this works with his style, right? He's still interested in the middle of the board, but he knows this side is the most important. So he's not going to try anything fancy, right? He's not going to play. A lot of players will play a move like this. If you're more territorial, you would play something like this, where you're saying, "Oh, look, you've emphasized this part of the board. I want to shrink this side of the board. I'm going to do it by digging into you and building territory." All right, not Takemiya style. Yes, please. If it was my own game, I would be much more tempted to play here.
Yeah.
Right, just again, I'm approaching my opponent. I just want to prevent my opponent from building things. I'm going to dig in a little bit. Right, I'm gonna say, hey, I have a stone here. I can build a base. I can make eyes. I don't want to be caught floating as I get closer to your stone. But no, not Takemiya. He's like, so Kobayashi goes over here. Biggest side of the board. Natural move. Again, we're not playing over here because it's more important we reduce black than build something ourselves directly. And Takemiya's move here is very interesting. Do you know what move I would expect here? Or what move
Pincer?
I would expect a pincer. And, we'd expect something like this, but we already have stones all through here. So if white does this, this looks glorious for black.
Yeah.
Very happy. We have a wall and we have balancing stones. White can't play this way.
Yeah. If you did pincer, would white jump out?
I think so. But here's the thing about jumping out. If white is playing this Joseki, where white jumps out in this formation, this is a win for black.
Yeah.
Because black, number one, is going to continue to build territory over here. This stone is actually very hard for white to attack directly. So usually the best white can do is lean on it. But then black's is going to crawl and make territory over here. And so white will get a floating-ish wall. Black will continue making territory. And so it's like one person gets something, the other person really doesn't get very much anything. So if this is the Joseki, this is a win for black. Again, locally it's a slight minus for white. Takemiya doesn't like it. It doesn't work with his plan, right? His plan is pig-headed. What is his plan?
Take the outside.
This is the bigger side, right? So he doesn't, I'm assuming, I'm reading into his style, that he doesn't even like this, even though this is a win for him. Right? You're interfering with my build, with my construction.
Physical.
He just plays here.
Huh.
Very strange for my style.
Would
Very-
a
very-
two-space high pincer have also been
Similar, but
somewhat reasonable
yes, I think
for still emphasizing the
this
center?
is still a win for black in this case.
Yeah,
But I think he doesn't like it for the same reason.
sure.
So, I mean, he could play here. But this Joseki locally is often considered good for white, even though in this direction it works just fine. White's group is very solid. White is either left with Aji to exploit or Sente, or sometimes both, depending on the variation. So he plays there. So this move is very strange to my eye. But again, if he's just Well, he's just going, look, I'm building this over here. You can run around a little bit here. White plays another move. And at this point, I go, okay, Takemiya, now it's time for you to do this. He doesn't do it. He just plays here.
If you didn't want to pincer originally, is pincering after doing that?
So in this case, white can still jump out,
Yeah.
but now this exchange is bad for white. Right? White would have actually rather have not made this exchange.
Huh.
Because now when white leans on this, when it comes time for white to come back to the corner, white's not gonna dip his toe into the puddle. He's gonna jump in the pool. Right? White has a wall here. White's gonna jump in the pool.
So you said white would not have wanted to have made that exchange?
Yeah, usually. So white can do this. We can ask here
Sure.
in cases where we have more support over here, and if our opponent is going to, let me make sure I get the order right. Here. Was it white's move? Did I script the order here already? No. Sorry. White, black, white.
Black.
Takemiya plays here, but when black plays here, if white doesn't mind just giving black the outside still,
Yeah.
and taking, we can still take these points.
Yeah.
Or when this is still good for white, and i.e. we're going to attack the stone very directly. If we're just going to lean on it, like if we're just going to pressure it, not actually like threaten to kill it,
Sure.
then this is a little bit of a minus.
Sure.
I didn't explain that very well, but we can pretend we did and move on.
Sounds good.
Is this, yeah. Here. And Kobayashi, again, Hante move. Plays here. One nice thing about this move is it does sort of goad white into playing this very low formation. And again, this is a subtlety of Takemiya's, sort of brute force, I'm going to take the middle style, is that white would really like to not get shut out here of middle. And so ideally white would like to, white would like to play something like this move. But this doesn't make a very strong base. And black's going to immediately just come here and undercut it. And if white wants to preserve it, white has to play this sort of bad exchange. And we're not feeling great as white. Are we going to jump out? Well, our shape is still kind of stupid. Right? There's still weak points. Black's actually has a very strong base over here. And feels like, black has some momentum. This move is not doing anything at the current point in time, other than just reducing the threat of black's potential. So anyway, black, I think is okay with just making this very simple exchange because all of white's stones end up low. And again, that's kind of what Takemiya wants. He's like, okay, you take the inside, I want the outside. So playing this very plain Joseki in this case does this very subtle thing that works with his already default desire and how to play Go. So next move for Takemiya, very strange move. Again, not the move I would play after white plays this base. Takemiya plays here. I think this is very strange. I'm looking at this board and going, there's no way this is the biggest point on this board.
Just kind of over-concentrated.
Absolutely. Look at black, right? For such a cosmic Go player, we have 6 stones effectively on our side of the board, and only one other stone that's on any of the other 3 sides. That's weird. It does re-emphasize that this side is the most important part of the board, which is cool, but that's about all it does. There's so much more space down here. Like white actually has potential now. And so because black actually just built this thing, like black's just building his one thing. White just goes and builds his thing. And in this game, here's the weird thing, right? You have this Takemiya, this person's always taking the outside. This, Cosmic Go, this is the biggest. Look who's bigger here. who's threatening to actually just build more territory out of the Moyo? Right, because right now this is Moyo versus Moyo.
Yeah.
And white has the bigger Moyo. That's crazy. All right, but wait, there's more. If you were black, what would you do?
And 17. Jump in.
And 17, come over here.
Yes, or higher maybe.
So you're saying this is bigger than this side?
Ah, no.
No.
Maybe R7? I mean, I don't think that's what Takemiya did, but
It's very close though. Yeah, so Takemiya is finally going to break up white. White is bigger. We can't have white bigger than us. That's absurd. So black has to break it up. Two places here. And I think there's a very Takemiya style difference between this and this. This locally can give up a lot of territory. White just plays that. That's a big corner now. All right, is it 50? Yeah, solid 15 points in that corner. If we play here, white can still kick us. But, there might be a potential for us to get into some sort of fight that we might not want. White probably won't kick in its place exactly. White will probably do something like pincer.
are you forced to jump out from there if the pincer happens?
I think so. I think so. And quite honestly, he wouldn't be unhappy with this. But he also wants his stones, especially his invasion stones, to feel as little pressure as possible. Like he wants, it's almost like he just wants to, throw a little rock in the pond, see how it ripples. For these types of invasions, he's not going to dive in until it's time. Because he's working on his own thing, right? He's like, I'm black, I want to build, I have the outside, I'm busy doing construction. Let me just do this little one-off thing. And so he's going to play here. And white can't pincer as strongly, right? There's just more space around the stone. There's less pressure on it. He's still going to respond. But it's unclear if white were to respond again, that he would even need another move, right? It's just, I just feel less pressure here as black. There's just more space to find things. It's here. We can even, don't do this, but just to make a point. Just because these are further away, it's like we can still make a good shape and make eyes. Okay. Don't do this unless you absolutely have to, right? There's still, but there's an emergency space here for us to make eyes.
Sure.
That's what's important. So he just jumps out, and
This is the game he did pincer.
this is the game. Pincer
Okay.
and jump. This is the game. This is all very natural. I mean, what else should white do here? I mean,
You mentioned make the big corner.
yeah. Reasonable. Black now might earn a few points on white side of the board. This also potentially isn't, even though you make a big corner here, you're not making anything here now. So I think Kobayashi is correct in the sense, look, I can make just as many points over here as I can over here.
Sure.
And I might as well do it in the way that puts more pressure on my opponent's base, right? That makes him feel a little bit more under duress. If I do it here, between the points that black will earn and a few extra points I pick up here and black not feeling any pressure, it feels like if white can count the game at this point and go, look, I have enough points, I can win the game, I just have to play solid, take my points, and not get into trouble, this is reasonable.
Sure.
But we're not at that stage yet, so. Black jumps out. And white's move is interesting, but it has a lot of meaning. Because white plays here. So what does white want to do?
Is he hoping to break up that Moyo that's forming? To,
Absolutely.
jump out from there?
Absolutely. Look, black has lots of potential territory over here. Where else is black going to find points in this board?
The center.
Well, the center
Yeah.
and the side,
Outside.
Yeah.
right, from here to here.
Yeah.
This is you know, if I'm not going to dive in here yet, white's really not going to. There's too many black stones for white to get a good result. We want to find the place where we can get, you know, we cannot get completely punished, you know, in respect. This is black's biggest potential after, you know, this. So we're going to go in there. It also has the nice thing, remember these two stones and these two stones? Both of these groups are saying this is the important side of the board, right? But Kobayashi also doesn't want to play a really slow move like this. Black might even just attach on top and just unite everything. So Kobayashi would really like to just, you know, maybe break this up, maybe even get into a real fight, throw it into chaos. If we can get into a real fight, it might be even possible to play some moves that both injure this group and this group. Wouldn't that be cool? If black had 2 weak groups and I only had 1, that'd be very nice. So, you know, his move is doing a lot of things. What do you think Takemiya does about it?
Cap.
Yeah, he just caps.
Would another reasonable move? I know Takemiya wouldn't do it, but would another reasonable move be kick?
I think so. I think that'd be reasonable, yeah. If white stands, you could probably even play something like this. Nice. Come out this way. And you might even, yeah, I don't know what's more prudent. Because again, black can still sort of make a base this way. We just want to keep pressure on these 2 stones as much as possible. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, if white ends up cowering here and I end up getting a big black wall here, well, all of a sudden that makes these stones look stronger and,
Yeah.
you know, maybe my Moyo was shifted a little bit, but still have the potential. I think that's pretty possible. But yeah, no, very simple. I'm building this, remember? This is the biggest. Don't forget. And you know, one thing, when Takemiya plays this, look at this stone, look at this stone, look at this stone, look at this stone. What do all these stones have in common?
They're low.
They're all low. Meaning, and the only place where white really has 4th line stones, if you don't count this corner, is over here. And so if black covers this, it's very slow going to get these 3rd line stones out into the middle of the board.
And is the reason why it's a cap rather than an attach because you wouldn't want to attach to the weak stone there?
Yeah. White feels like he'll get some momentum here.
Yeah.
Like if we just pull back. Do we cover this way? There's cuts.
Sure.
If white has a strong group, those cuts are real cuts. If white has a weak group, they're not so real. Maybe. I mean, we can still get what we want, but
We're giving white a little bit more.
yeah, it just feels like white has some momentum. White will get to push us around a little bit. Here, white isn't really going to push through this.
Yeah.
When we give it white a little bit more space, you know, it's not like white can push through this cut. If white cuts, this is a kind of a desperation fight. That stone already has a problem, and black will just come back around if white fixes that stone. Very desperate feeling for white. Not going to get a good result. So white basically has to go into squirrel mode. And in doing so, white's going to ask for more. White's going to be like, okay, I'm a hungry squirrel. How many nuts can I get for the winter? So he's not going to, you know, just squirrel around here a little. No, he's going to squirrel all the way over there. And again, normally, Joseki move for here is black. This is not the game. This is normal best local sequence for black. And if white does that, that's pretty good. Pretty good. But white also has the option of playing moves like this. And there is a defect here, but again, it might, that's why white might want to stabilize a little bit more. But locally, this is great. This is great for black. Look at the giant corner that we built. We still have, you know, none of our stones are really coming under attack. But in this case, Takemiya doesn't like it. It's like it doesn't work with my strategy here. I wanna build this. I don't want to give white a strong group on the outside if I don't have to. Unlike this one, right? This one only had third line stones. This one already has a fourth line stone coming out. Can't be pushed around as easily. So, Takemiya plays here. Also Joseki. White squirrels back the stone. Black just stays strong. This is a move that black can play if black wants to give up a lot of points in that corner. You remember that giant corner we had for black? Mm-hmm. Not anymore. All white. All white. White's going to eat all this now. Oh, well, Takemiya defends it. White comes back here. And once white connects here, number one, we have a live group. And number two, white can clamp here as a follow-up later. Right? And black can't disconnect. You know, white can play here. So this didn't happen in the game. But white has that potential.
Is that the reason why white liked to start with the invasion at h3 rather than just going straight to the corner?
I don't know if he expected black to do this or not.
Oh, okay.
Again, this is a pretty big. We just turned. You know, how many points was that for? That's probably a easily 15 plus point corner for black. Maybe it's about 15. Into what, 10-point corner for white? We just swung the game 25 points. But what did black get?
Yeah,
We can't say even black got these points, right? Because white can just make it live.
Black got the outside.
Black got a wall here and maybe a little bit more strength on the outside. That's it. We just gave away 25 points for essentially these two moves. And maybe a little thickness here.
I really hope black wins so we can see the turnaround from all of the... This makes no sense.
I mean, well, so realistically, right, if we can't give any points to black here, we can give half the points to black, right? Because maybe there's a 50% chance black can play here. But even then, white might be able to reduce on this side, so it's not even very hard to count any points for black here. If we give black these points, these are looking pretty solid, right? We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 30 points for black, that's it. How many points is white looking at? All right, here, let's count by group instead of just counting everything. How many points over here?
This, 10?
10's optimistic, but I would 10 is optimistic. I would feel comfortable with like the 7-ish range.
Okay.
How many points over here? Cho Chikun says 10.
Okay.
But that's his own math. He just says 10 points. I'm just gonna go with him.
Sure.
Maybe we have another 8 or 9 here. So 8, 7, 10. That puts us at 25. I haven't even counted this or this, but if we're having Komi, white already has 30 points over here. And I haven't given white anything over here. There's just points on this board for white only, it seems, right? Now maybe we can assume black will get another 10 here.
Sure.
So maybe black's real total is at least 40. But again, I just got to 25 only on this side of the board. If we have white another 10, well, actually between these two groups, let's say this is another 15. That's 40 right there before Komi. Like black is just down by Komi, minimum. But guess what? Well, black has Sente.
Yeah.
Another kind of strange move, right?
Yes, but there's relation with the...
Yeah, now you can see, wait a second. Oh, wait. Takemiya, emphasize this, emphasize this, emphasize this. emphasize this. Everything is starting to emphasize this. And meanwhile, this also basically threatens to just take away these points. Black actually now is this, and this is follow-ups. Sometimes even this. Right, so this move isn't without meaning over here. Or not just meaning with this side. It does have meaning over here as well. It also strengthens these two stones. That's the only thing that is obviously attackable.
When you say strengthens those two stones, I agree because you have another stone in the area. But I usually don't. I found whenever I make that sort of shape, I get poked in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And it ends up being endlessly annoying.
No. No, in this case, you just play here. Like this. Here.
And then I always get
Which side?
Right.
depends on the circumstance, maybe that side.
Yeah.
So here. And white can take some parties. Well, white needs to connect this.
I think in my case, I've just had enough painful experiences to flinch away from the shape. But maybe since professionals play, it is perfectly reasonable.
There's also this Tesuji. If you don't have ladders or not strong on the outside, you can play this way.
Huh.
Actually, so white can't capture this stone, right? Because of this move. White can't connect. White has to take and then you Atari, or double Atari. So white can't play that way. White can play this way. That's complicated now. Complicated. Can't play there, right? Oh, you can play there now. Yeah. Atari. Connect. Atari. Has to come out. Atari. Come out. Maybe Atari. If we take. There's too much weakness here for white. There's a lot of ways.
Sure.
I don't know. But you shouldn't be scared. Unless white has a lot of stones on the outside, you shouldn't be scared of that poke.
Okay.
It's just up to you to find weaknesses. Whatever is this? This is not the shape. This is the shape. In fact, what do you think white is more scared of than trying to do this right now?
Oh, I don't think he's doing it right now. I definitely think that.
White's looking at this. White's like, okay, I would like to not let this become a giant thing. Wouldn't that be cool? And wouldn't it be cool if I also took some territory for myself in the process? Out there. Seems good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number one, black is trying to, again, build this. I can just sort of poke into it. Later on, if white strengthens this stone, and I have stones here, oh man, black, you're getting counterattacked. All right, we're gonna go poking this thing this way. Eat that thing. Probably can't do that until we have a little more strength, though.
Does that also threaten to save or not save, but help out that H3 stone?
Absolutely. Now, the one dubious thing about a move like this, though, is this stone is already half saved. So this move half saves it again. So this stone is basically alive now, right, for our purposes. If at any point the game is big enough that we care about the stone is alive. We've half saved it on this side, we've half saved it on this side. Mm-hmm. I'm not convinced we're at the point of the game where you should be playing moves that half save things. Like even though it builds this and it gets in this, I wouldn't be playing this move because it half saves it, right? I'm really playing this move because I'm making something and I'm threatening to get in and potentially cut this off. So even though, yes, it does this extra special bonus thing, that's not one of like the top 3 reasons.
Sure.
That's down the list. But yes, it does that as well. So nice, I mean, this is a great looking move, right? This is just like, look, you can try to build your thing. I'm just gonna keep making the thing that you're building smaller and smaller. If we can do that, white has more than enough territory to win the game. So black goes, that's nice.
I was waiting for that one.
Of course, right? This is expected follow-up. Right, again, Hante style player. We're gonna this one. There is a cut here, and if we don't play another move, we can never really push through this way. So white's gonna say, you know what, I'm just gonna keep this strong, and that way, I can push through.
I haven't seen that variation before. Isn't it normal to wedge between the 2 black stones next?
Both, either one. This is normal.
Huh.
This one, so the problem with this, if we just wedge, and then black just, fixes, we can take these stones, but we're not getting enough. We're not getting into this enough. If I leave this open, later on, I might want to play a clamp or a peep. Maybe this is a ladder breaker over here for something. If I play this one, there's other ways to use this aji.
Sure.
Rather than define this shape. Because white doesn't know if he's going to have to come in this way or push it in as much as he can. He's not really sure yet.
Sure.
The shape hasn't been too defined. So this keeps it a little bit more open. But it's also a little more passive too. This one, like we're saying, bam, you have cuts, you have cuts, you have cuts. But these cuts aren't that big of a deal. White takes a cut, black just probably pulls back. I'm doing this, remember? So we'd have to play something like this. I don't know. I think white is just trying not to define the shape. Is my take. But black plays here. Makes this a really thin line of stones. But he's saying, look, you can't hurt me that much. Yeah, you can get in to this line here. No problem. There's too many holes. You can just come in here and do whatever you want. But whatever you do, I'm just going to back off a little bit again. These little stones are basically speed bumps. They just help me hold the line back here. I have no interest in saving these. I suppose it's a very thin move. The other thing this move does, other than just start to really build this huge thing.
Put pressure on this side.
Yeah, it threatens to invade down here or over here, or just reduce. I mean, black can just continue to reduce and just build. So very flexible move, very thin looking move I wouldn't think of. Because the shape feels bad, right? As a Go player, you're like, hole, hole, hole. Next to strong, strong, strong. Frightening. But if you don't care about anything going on over here, if you just say, oh, those stones, I don't care. Whatever you do, I'm just going to back off. But no matter what you do, I'm just going to back off. Sure, it works. So white plays move, and white's going, okay, I see what you're trying to do. I had a way to deal with this, I'm going to keep doing it. Potent move. What is this stone doing?
Stopping white from pushing as far in to the Moyo? And maybe helping that group at the bottom?
Helping which group?
The 3 stones?
Oh, these 3, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so they don't get cut off from everything?
Yeah, we're both building our Moyo and trying to help. This is the type of move that I feel like does 2 things kind of half-assed. That's not really the case with this move, if you look a little deeper, right? It feels like, oh, we're kind of building this Moyo, and we're kind of helping these stones, though this is too far away, right? This is not, this is I can just split. It's not hard to see. And we're kind of building the Moyo, but look, there's defects in here, right? Like white can just come in here and threaten a cut and keep crawling in. But here's the thing. If white were to keep going this way, I'm pretty sure black's just going to let you cut. think black just doesn't care. And the reason why black doesn't care about eating this is that this group is actually much stronger than it looks. And that's sort of the genius part of this game, is that these 3 stones, especially after this stone, after they're a little bit further away from the corner, and white hasn't responded over here. Again, we can just lean on this and just make eyes like immediately if we need to. Black can't really be attacked here. And so if black can't be attacked here, the meaning of this move to come this way is pretty much negated. Right? Black will just live. And if white goes this way, he's going to go too slowly to actually eat this Moyo. So the next move for white, I'm going to stop this review soon because I'll just tell you what happens the rest of the game instead of playing out moves. White plays here next. And it's a really sad move. But it's sad because it's so slow and black's doing this really big thing. But without it, he can't ever make this move full value, right? We're going to take some points, and okay, now the attack's back on. Now we can go back and do this thing. But black's next move is here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And especially once this group is totally connected, even when white comes through and does something like this, there's still weaknesses here, right? That black can play around with, especially with this row of stones.
Black's response makes that white move seem extra surprising. The one at the bottom.
Yeah, exchanging this for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it, to my eyes, which is not a professional Go player, seems pretty bad.
For which player?
For white, like just like a little saving that stone there and getting a couple of points on the bottom, and then black getting those.
Well, first of all, black is still like, even if you can't cut this like super, it's not like clear sente clean cutting sequence, right?
Yeah.
Black will still get some free stuff and then come back here.
Yeah, in other words, I guess I was agreeing that I think that group at the bottom of blacks is just really, really hard to attack, and so if the goal of playing down there was to eventually be able to attack it, it was so easily saved.
But it's not that it was always easily saved.
Yeah.
But the difference is this way takes points for white and not for black.
Sure, that makes sense.
Right? I think that's the distinction here.
Sure.
Is that this move doesn't literally gain us points, right? Any points we gain from this group are going to come from over here.
Yeah.
That's not there. So after this move, basically, white's trying to build this. Black just plays some really defensive moves just to basically make a line here that white can't really get any more into. And then black actually launches a successful invasion in this corner. Again, white maybe had gone a line too far or so when trying to reduce this, so left some weaknesses of his own. So black was actually able to reduce here and reduce this point. So black actually ends up winning this game by a lot because he ends up getting basically all this. And sure, white gets territory, a little bit of territory, but because white overstepped, what's possible, he got punished a little bit. But even if white doesn't overstep, he still loses the game. It's not like he could just play really soft moves and expect to win at this point. This is too big.
And he didn't manage to push through very well on that right-hand side.
Yeah, I don't quite remember.
Because we mentioned how thin those
I think he played this far. I think that was the move. I'll have to go back and look it up.
Yeah.
But black actually just pulled back. Like, black didn't even attack it yet. He was just like, this is bigger. This is bigger. I don't need to do anything. Mm-hmm. And then white tried to, have enough time to do lots of things. And then black counterattacked and got in here. So, I'm not saying this is like, again, we're looking at a 23-year-old game. Almost, I think it was the end of 1984 was the date. 23 and whatever, or 22 and change, I guess. Year-old game. But I think I'm not saying this is going to beat AlphaGo Zero, right? This is not a supreme level of play. But in your own games, just appreciating how you build a Moyo, right? Just seeing how a player not only do it regularly, but can basically do it at will, right? The types of moves that he plays in the exchanges to say, I'm going to play a Moyo game. And that's kind of fun, just to be quite honest. Like that's a way you can express yourself through Go. And you can use against certain opponents, right? A lot of times, professionals are planning their strategy based on what their opponents like or don't like. And if your opponent doesn't do well with deep invasions, let's play a giant Moyo game. And for many of you guys, your style of Go playing is being refined against the people you normally play against. I think most Go players probably have one or two people that they play semi-regularly, right? You might play on the internet, you might play a couple strangers, but especially if you play Go in person, there's probably a person that you found, either on the internet or in your own community that you've built a rapport with and you play regularly, and your styles will influence each other, right? Sometimes in very extreme ways. Like my opponent just invades me all over the place, therefore I've learned not to build a giant Moyo, and I just make very solid territories, right? Or my opponent always builds this giant Moyo and I have to invade, so I've gotten really strong in invading, right? Your style is not just a product of your own personality, it's a product of your environment as well. And so seeing these styles play out like on the professional level, I think is really, it's a very human way to relate to Go, not only like as a game, but like in your own game, in your own relationships with the people you play with.